The knock came again. 3 slow, deliberate taps, slicing through the silence like a whispered warning. Ethan's chest tightened, not just from fear, but from the memory that surfaced unbidden. The last time those knocks echoed, everything changed. His instincts screamed to run, but years of solitude had taught him that running sometimes meant running straight into the darkness. Outside, something waited. Something that didn't just want him dead, but wanted to claim something buried deep inside him. Inside the door was both a shield and a prison, his last chance or his last mistake. 3 sharp knocks echoed again, deliberate, unnerving. The clock on the wall glowed 2:13 a.m., its pale blue digits casting a sickly light across the room. That same eerie blue, colder than the midnight chill creeping through the cracked window. Ethan's breath hitched. He stood frozen, every nerve screaming. Alone on the 5th floor, deadbolt locked tight. No fire escape, no open window, no logical explanation for the sound. No footsteps, no wind. But the knocks didn't care for logic. They came again, steady, insistent, unmistakable. Ethan swallowed hard, throat tight as every muscle coiled like a spring ready to snap. His phone vibrated sharply against the nightstand. Unknown number, a call at this ungodly hour. He let it buzz, ignored it. Some calls were better left unanswered. Then came the knocks again. 3. Slow, heavy. They didn't just tap, they rattled the very core of the door, sending vibrations up his arm. From the crack beneath the door came a voice, soft, sibilant, almost a hiss. Open up. Ethan's breath hitched. His body refused to obey, frozen as the room seemed to shrink. Shadows stretched long and clawed at the corners, crawling like they had teeth. His mind spun, wrestling with the impossible. Was this a cruel prank? A stranger testing his nerves? Or something far more sinister? Then the power faltered. A brief flicker and the room was plunged into thick darkness. The kind of darkness that clings to your skin, seeps into your lungs. Yet, the knocks didn't cease. They echoed, relentless, like a heartbeat pounding against the walls of his mind. Ethan's thoughts spiraled. This wasn't just a bad night. It was something else entirely. Something that wouldn't let him go quietly. Each breath tore through Ethan's chest, ragged and sharp, loud in the suffocating silence. The shadows weren't just outside anymore. They had wormed their way beneath his skin, seeding whispers of doubt and terror he fought desperately to smother. Have you ever felt something watching not just your body, but your very soul? That gnawing presence that turns your own mind against you? Without warning, the door exploded inward, splinters flying like deadly shards through the stale air. Instinct took over. Ethan lunged, knife raised, muscles burning with adrenaline. But the doorway was empty. Silence swallowed the space where menace should have been. The chill that settled over him was worse than any shadow. The hallway outside Ethan's bedroom stretched into a black abyss. Every shadow seemed alive, watching, waiting. He edged toward the door, every creak of the floorboards echoing like a scream in the silence. A sudden scraping noise, something dragging along the wall, froze him in place. A cold gust brushed past his cheek, carrying a faint metallic scent. Blood? Fear knotted in his throat. He risked a glance down the hallway. Nothing but shifting shadows. Then, a figure darted past the far end, a blur, almost human, impossibly fast. Ethan's heart hammered as he slammed the door shut, locking it tight. He sank to the floor, breathing ragged, every nerve screaming questions with no answers. What did it want? Why him? Suddenly, a loud crash shattered the eerie quiet, something heavy crashing down in the living room. His body screamed to run, but his limbs refused to obey, frozen in place. The silence returned, heavier, more suffocating than before. The lights flickered, then died. Ethan was plunged into absolute darkness. His breath came sharp, loud, as the shadows seemed to crawl beneath his skin, whispering doubts he fought to silence. Fumbling blindly, his fingers found the flashlight on the nightstand. Click. A narrow beam cut through the void. The living room lay in chaos, furniture overturned, shards of glass scattered like deadly stars. The window was wide open, curtains torn, the wind howling through the broken pane. He hadn't heard it break. Something else had. A soft creak from the kitchen made him whirl the flashlight. A dark shape crouched near the counter, too still, too unnatural. Heart pounding, Ethan stepped forward. The shape twisted suddenly, revealing a pale, bloodless face, eyes black as the void. He stumbled back, dropping the flashlight. The beam rolled, casting wild shadows that danced like demons on the walls. The figure lunged. Ethan dove to the side just in time, pain flaring as his knees scraped against the rough floor. The creature's claws tore through the air where he'd been moments before. Adrenaline surged, fueling his desperate scramble toward the back door. He could hear the creature snarling, its breath ragged and wet, close behind. He burst through the door into the cold night air, gasping for breath as the city's eerie silence swallowed him whole. But safety was an illusion. Shadows flickered between the buildings, twisting unnaturally. A soft, sinister knocking echoed behind him, slow, deliberate, like a heartbeat. Ethan spun, eyes searching the empty alley. From the darkness, two figures emerged, pale, twisted silhouettes, their hollow eyes glowing faintly. His heart slammed against his ribs. They moved with unnatural speed, closing in. Frantic, Ethan grabbed a rusty pipe nearby, brandishing it like a weapon. One hissed as he swung, claws scraping the metal. The other lunged. Just as the creatures closed in, a deafening crash shattered the silence. A man burst through a side door, wielding a shotgun. "Get back," he barked, firing a blast that sent one creature reeling. Ethan barely processed the rescue before they both sprinted into the shadows. "Who?" Ethan gasped. "No time," the stranger snapped. "They're hunting you. If you want to survive, listen carefully." Fear and relief warred inside Ethan. His nightmare wasn't over. It was only just beginning. The stranger's eyes burned with a fierce urgency as they darted through the maze of alleyways. His grip on the shotgun never wavered. "Name's Cole," he said without looking back. "You don't know what you're up against. These things, they're not human. They hunt shadows, and you're marked." Ethan's breath hitched. "Marked? What does that mean?" Cole glanced at him, jaw clenched. "Means they want more than just to kill. They want to take your soul. And once they have it, they don't stop. Ever." The pounding footsteps echoed behind them. The creatures were relentless. Ethan stumbled but kept moving, every step heavy with dread. "Where do we go?" he gasped. Cole paused at a rusted gate, eyes scanning the dark horizon. "Somewhere they can't follow, but they'll try." They slipped through the gate into an abandoned warehouse, the heavy door slamming shut behind them. Inside, shadows clung to every corner. Ethan's heart thundered, but here at least the knocking stopped. Cole turned to him, voice low. "You're not just running from monsters, Ethan. You're running from a curse." Silence stretched between them, thick and suffocating. Ethan swallowed hard. "Then how do I stop it?" Cole's eyes darkened. "First, you survive the night." Ethan sank against a cold metal crate, trying to steady his breathing. The weight of Cole's words pressed down on him like a physical force. "A curse," Ethan whispered. "Why me? I don't remember anything. Nothing strange before tonight." Cole crouched beside him, eyes scanning the shadows. "Sometimes the curse chooses you long before you know it. Something in your bloodline, or something you've done, unknowingly." Ethan clenched his fists. "So what? I'm supposed to just wait until it drags me under?" "No," Cole said firmly. "You fight, but to fight, you need to understand." He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small, weathered book, its pages yellowed, edges torn. "This has answers and dangers." Ethan took the book, fingers trembling. As he opened it, strange symbols and cryptic notes filled the pages. A sudden noise made them both freeze, the faintest scraping from above. Cole's eyes narrowed. "They found us." Heart pounding, Ethan stood, gripping the book. "This is just the beginning," he said, "and we have to be ready." The scraping noise grew louder, a slow, deliberate rhythm against the metal ceiling. Ethan and Cole exchanged a grim glance. "We don't have much time," Cole whispered, raising the shotgun. From the shadows above, a dark shape dropped silently onto the floor, a creature, gaunt and pale, eyes gleaming with hunger. Ethan's heart slammed against his ribs as the creature lunged. He barely dodged, the air whooshing past his face as claws scraped the concrete. Cole fired, the shotgun blast echoing like thunder in the empty warehouse. The creature screeched, stumbling back, but not defeated. More shapes emerged from the darkness, surrounding them, silent, relentless. Ethan gripped the weathered book tightly. "Cole, what now?" Cole's voice was steady, but his eyes betrayed the weight of the fight ahead. "We hold our ground. We fight." The creatures closed in, shadows melting into flesh and bone. The night had only just begun. Ethan swung the rusty pipe with desperate strength, connecting with the creature's jaw. It hissed, recoiling but didn't fall. Another advanced, teeth bared like shards of broken glass. Cole fired again, the shotgun's roar shaking the warehouse walls. One creature collapsed, but two more closed the gap. Breathing hard, Ethan ducked a swipe, feeling claws rake his arm, sharp pains searing through his skin. He gritted his teeth, ignoring the sting. The creatures moved with unnatural speed, a blur of hunger and malice. "Keep moving," Cole barked, backing toward a pile of crates. "Don't let them surround you." Ethan's mind raced, searching for any weakness. Then, a memory flickered, a phrase from the book. "Light burns the shadow's flesh." He glanced at the flickering fluorescent lights overhead. If only they could hold on. The creatures lunged again, and Ethan raised the flashlight, clicking it on. The beam cut through the darkness, illuminating their snarling faces. They hissed, recoiling from the sudden light as if burned. "Keep it steady," Ethan yelled. Cole fired once more, and together they pushed back the creatures, the harsh light and gunfire buying them precious seconds. But Ethan knew this was only the beginning. The curse was alive, hunting, and it would not relent. The creatures hissed and recoiled, but their snarls promised they wouldn't retreat for long. "Back to the exit," Cole growled, dragging Ethan along. They dashed through the maze of crates and debris, the creatures' angry howls close behind. Ethan clutched the book tightly, flipping through pages desperate for answers. "There has to be something," he panted. Cole cut him off. "No time. Just keep moving." They burst through a side door into a narrow alley. The cold night air hit Ethan's face, sharp and biting, but safety was fleeting. "Listen," Cole whispered, eyes scanning the dark streets. "The curse is tied to your bloodline. It's ancient, unforgiving. We need to find the place where it started, or it will never stop." Ethan swallowed the lump in his throat. "And if we can't?" Cole's gaze hardened. "Then it hunts you forever." A chill wind swept through the alley, carrying the faintest echo of that slow, deliberate knocking. Ethan's heart thundered. His nightmare wasn't over. It had only just begun.